3M is going to pay $850 million to the state to settle a case over chemical disposal and groundwater contamination in the East Metro. The money will be used for cleaning up chemicals the company used to make consumer products like Teflon and Scotchgard. 3M dumped those chemicals for years at 4 sites in Washington County. The state's lawsuit claimed they caused higher rates of cancer and premature births. The settlement came on the same day the trial was supposed to begin.
So we're pleased with the settlement. We think that the settlement will help solve a problem for Minnesota. It's been a problem that has been a long time in the making. For many decades, these chemicals, as I mentioned, were put into the ground, and we are very hopeful that the settlement can help fix that. So I'd be happy to take that.
The state was originally seeking $5 billion. In a statement, 3M says it does not believe there is a public health issue, but it will work with the state. We'll hear from one Cottage Grove family and why they're not satisfied with the settlement ahead at 5.
Some young people in Florida continue to demand change after 17 of their classmates and teachers were murdered. They boarded buses yesterday and went to the Florida State Capitol. About 100 students plan to hold a march today demanding a ban on assault rifles and stricter gun control for those who have a history of mental illness. Some students say they're taking action after losing friends.
They're not going to listen to us. It's going to be really embarrassing for them because 100 kids from a school that was shot up less than a week ago are coming begging them to have a conversation with us.
3 of the students who were murdered last week were laid to rest yesterday. Peter Wang died after saving other students. Gina Rose Montalo was a dancer and artist. Classes say they'll remember Carmen Shentrup for her goodness. President Donald Trump is taking a step towards some measure of gun control. He wants new regulations, which are still being negotiated, that would likely ban the use of bump stocks. It's an accessory that can effectively turn a semi-automatic into an automatic weapon.
Meanwhile, more than 100 women called for changes to gun laws at the Minnesota State Capitol.
I'm angry and I'm devastated that this is the state of our society, and I'm really just praying that people come together for what's right.
Protesters lined the hallways leading into the House and Senate, confronting lawmakers as they entered. Wearing red shirts and carrying signs, the group Moms Demand Action are calling for stricter limits on access to guns and stronger background checks. That was just one of the number of issues the legislature is confronting after their first day back to work. Governor Mark Dayton gave remarks at the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce dinner at the convention center last night. The governor's busy day was spent hosting a reception for members of the legislature and meeting with commissioners and their staff. Pat Kessler reports from the Capitol on some of the priorities for the 2018 session.
The election year version of the Minnesota legislature is back in St. Paul. It's a long to-do list and a shorter than usual 90 days to do it. And it's complicated by political campaigns from now until November. Already, lawmakers are tackling the Trump tax bill. That could significantly raise taxes on tens of thousands of Minnesotans who itemize. There's serious work to do as quickly as possible to investigate a significant backlog of elder abuse in senior care facilities. And many lawmakers are furious about those glitches in Minnesota's new computer system for motor vehicle licenses. That's a top priority, too. Republican leaders are promising harmony despite losing a bitter court battle last year to Democratic Governor Mark Dayton. He vetoed their operating funds here at the legislature. So there's a fragile peace for now, but politics is always present. Pat Kessler, WCCO 4 News.
After the session is over, it will be a busy campaign season. This November, both U.S. Senate seats, every member of Congress and the governor's office, and the entire state house is up for election.
Took a jury 2 days to decide, but ultimately they found a Minneapolis police officer who shot at a car full of people not guilty. Officer Ephraim Hamilton was acquitted on all charges yesterday, which included assault and intentional discharge of a firearm. The incident happened in late 2016. Hamilton was working off-duty, responding to a shots fired call when his squad car collided with a BMW that was leaving a chaotic scene. Hamilton said he fired his weapon because he feared for his life.
Police in Minneapolis are investigating after a car slammed into a building. It happened in the 800 block of West Broadway around 7:30 last night. When officers arrived, they found the car in the abandoned building, but whoever was in the car when it crashed was gone. No one was hurt.
Hometown Airline is cutting nearly a fifth of its local workforce, outsourcing those jobs instead to try to save money. Sun Country announced 350 layoffs yesterday. Jobs include ticket counter agents, cleaning services, cargo and baggage handlers at MSP International Airport. People will still be doing those jobs. Global Aviation Services will take over those duties in May, and the airline says people who are losing their jobs with Sun Country can start applying to do the same work for the contractor as soon as today. Of course, we don't know what the pay scale will be for those new jobs.